Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great and exceptional day. It is Wednesday, even though it feels like it's Friday, and it's all good in the neighborhood. Let me know how in the chat how your week is going. Let me know how everything is holding up with you and yours. Let me know how your kids are doing with their first day or first week back at school and whatnot. Time goes by so fast, and you can see the season starting to change. Saying adios to good old summertime. But it is what it is. Seasons change, people's change, all that good stuff. But it is what it is. But anyways, let's get to the word of the day. Today's word is pan-broil, stands for to cook over direct heat, an uncovered, ungreased skillet and whatnot. And I chose this word, this is one of those random words I chose today, but I really chose this one to specifically say when it comes to when you're there's an old saying, you cook, now we're cooking with grease, old Southern saying. And basically when with the word, it says to cook over in direct heat in an uncovered, ungreased skillet and whatnot. Sometimes you're going to get cooked out in the open. One of my biggest things, it might not seem it if you've been watching my content, but one of my biggest things when I first got into the workforce is I despise public speaking. Even to this day. I'm nervous with it all at the same time. I've gotten better at it because I've had no choice but to do it. But my tactic is, and one person that I worked with, she pointed this out. She says, "You don't look directly at people when you're presenting." I'm looking like this when I'm usually presenting. I was like, well, when it comes down to this specific situation, you have to do X, Y, Z. As you see, I'm not looking in the camera. So that is one thing. I feel like I'm being cooked in an uncovered manner and whatnot, because certain things are cooked covered and certain things are not cooked covered. And I feel like when it's covered, I feel like I'm being cooked and out in the open whenever I have to do any sort of public speaking. I think if I had to do like a TED talk, or if I had to be able to do public speaking in regards to something that I'm more passionate about and not necessarily work related, because when you're passionate about something, that's when the best public speakers are the ones who are passionate. Les Brown is a great example. Tony Robbins is a great example. These individuals are, and there's so many others, but I'm just naming those two off the top of my head. These individuals are, that are the highest paid and some of the best public speakers in the freaking world. Okay, and they've spoken to people and audiences all over the world. And this was before the advent of social media, and social media just intensified their audience and their reach. And I remember even watching Les Brown. He would go live every morning or around maybe noon during the pandemic. And that's when I started actually doing research on Les Brown. Great public speaker, great positive guy. And I know he's got his son involved doing what he is doing in the business and whatnot. But yeah, it's just like, it's one of the things that I feel like I'm always getting cooked while, and out in the open. But I think to be put in those situations are the best things on the planet for one specific reason. And that specific reason is because when you are put in situations where you are the most uncomfortable, that's when it shows that that it helps strengthen who you are and it helps shine. It's like the only way to grow in this world is when you're the most uncomfortable. When a child has to be potty trained and whatnot, they're uncomfortable. They were comfortable utilizing the bathroom in a diaper, but then they have to go from that to a toilet. And so they have to be put in an uncomfortable situation. People that are being taught how to ride a bike for the first time, you're being put in how to drive for the first time, are being put in an uncomfortable situation. Unfortunately, a lot of people still will go through life never learning how to drive a car because it's the most uncomfortable thing on the planet, or learning how to ride a bike because it's the most uncomfortable thing on the planet. I don't know how to ride a motorcycle and whatnot because for me, it's an uncomfortable situation. Call me what you want to call me, but but I know people that don't know how to drive a car. So everybody has their thing in this life, but for me, it's not riding a motorcycle isn't a battle I'm trying to conquer. So I'm not really too worried about that. So it's not anything I'm trying to move forward and put that on the bucket list or anything of that nature. But we all have those things that make us uncomfortable, and if it's something that we hate, but it's something that makes us the best, I think me being able to speak in front of people, even though I don't like it, has helped me become a better podcaster and whatnot. It's made me less nervous, and a lot of times you just have the moments in life where you got to be like a boxer or any sort of person that's in a sports competition, smack yourself in the face. And it's like, all right, we got this. Let's get it going. Let's start with the nonsense. Let's get it over with. The sooner it's over with, the better. Sometimes you just have to have that mindset. When you start a new job, you start a new business, these things are uncomfortable. When I first started investing in the stock market, it was uncomfortable, even though I didn't even realize, especially because you had members of my family that were, they were scared of the stock market. But I didn't even realize, obviously, because I was still getting financially educated at the time. It was 2016 when I bought my first stock. And I remember that I was told, because I was so nervous about it, guys like, we have a 401k, right? I said, yeah. He was like, well, you're already investing in the stock market. So what do you, he's like, you pull up your pay stub, you see money that gets deducted from your 401k every 2 weeks and whatnot. He's like, it's the same thing. It's that money's going to a brokerage firm, and that brokerage firm is investing that money in various different amounts of stocks. He's like, in certain aspects you have control of it, but either way that money's going to get deducted. You can't. Most companies that have 401ks don't allow you to opt out. Some do, some don't. Like, I remember a buddy of mine, he says he regrets not filling out the paperwork with a company he worked for like 7 years and whatnot, in order for him to have money deducted from his paycheck to go into a 401k, because he could have rolled that money over to his newer 401k with the company that he works for now, that he could have had an opportunity to have more money invested. That was money, it's like money not invested is money wasted a lot of times. Money saved and money invested is the best way to utilize money outside of paying your normal day-to-day stuff. But that's another story for another day. But we all get put in those uncomfortable situations when it came to start investing in crypto. I tell people all the time, if I have to overanalyze something, that means it ain't for me. So I said, okay, what can I afford to lose? Let me spend $20 here. Let me spend $5 or $10 here. That was the advent of me investing in the cryptocurrency market. And then in 2020, I saw the explosion of the amount of money that I made by just starting to invest in crypto in 2017-18 timeframe. It's those little things. Government bonds just started $30 here and there, and like, wow, look how it's accumulated over the years and whatnot. Same thing in the stock market, couple of dollars here, couple of dollars there, and now I invest even more so because I've seen how it's accumulated and things of that nature. Same thing with having an individual retirement account. I remember my mother was scared for me to do that. Like, it was the worst thing on the planet. I was like, Mom, I know what I'm doing. I did my research and I did it, and I see the benefits of it and all that great stuff. Now I got 3 of them. So it's just like, it's just dipping your toe in the water, see what happens. If the shark doesn't bite the toe off, then it might be safe to go in there. If not, what's life without risk? Life is a risk. It is what it is. All right. Today's quote of the day is by Soren Kierkegaard. I know I butchered that name, but he stated that do it or don't do it. You will regret both. Simple to the point. Do it or don't do it. You will regret both. And I could not agree with that statement more. If it's like a lot of times things in life are very black and white. Not everything, but a lot of times things are very black and white. And if you don't just get up and say, you know what, let me just do it, the heck with it, let the chips fall where they fall, and life is what it is. You got people that jump over the U.S. border or European borders or Canadian borders, sneak into countries and whatnot, because they're like, you know what, I got nothing to lose. I'm going to lay it out all on the line. If I get caught, great. If I don't get caught, even better. But I know there's something better for me waiting on the other side. You got people that escape prisons that do the same thing. You got people that quit jobs that do the same thing. They're like, you know what? I'm going to dip my toe in it and see what happens. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the chance. One young lady I saw on my Facebook earlier this morning as I was getting my day together, she just started. She was worth a job, I think, for almost 8 years, or 8 years. And, she was miserable there. And she's, a lot of people that get into a job, they get in the comfort zone, which a lot of times it can be the death sentence. But anyways, having so many routines can be a death sentence for you. That's like a lot of times people who are in prison and whatnot, it kills them inside because it's every day is day in, day out routine and whatnot. And they have to find different things to do in order for them to have any sort of sanity, things of that nature. But anyways, she said today, she's only been at her job for a month now. She loves it. She's like, well, I don't care what anybody says. She's like, if you're not happy someplace, it's time for you to move on. And I could not agree with that statement more. There's a lot of people, because of the money and because of responsibilities and whatnot, they will stay in a certain area and whatnot, and they will be the most miserable people on the planet. And you got to ask yourself the question, because I can't answer it. It's your life, not mine. Or if you're not happy, how are you going to get happy? All right. Now, obviously, if it's something deeper that requires therapy, that's a different story for a different day. I'm not a therapist, so I can't comment on that. But when it comes to taking actions in life, I'm the one that's like, go for it. I have people I know that they will overanalyze something that they will then they will get to the point where they will not execute. And eventually you have to execute something. And, that's why I used to talk a lot about doing certain things. I don't talk about it. I'm just going to be about it. It's execution time. All right. So I'll leave it at that. Do the great 3 things. Like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Don't forget to check out my online store that's in the description, along with, if you're a stock market investor, crypto investor, individual retirement account investor, think about joining WEBULL, Stash, Acorns, Coinbase, Crypto.com, and you'll be able to make some money once you sign up for those links in the description. As I always say, make money moves, or you're going to live broke like a fool. And hopefully you guys have an amazing and exceptional day. This has been Talk Hard, Real Talk Hard, all day, every day. Take care.